Hi everyone, it's Elisa. This is the last letter my mom wrote in June of 1971 and the final letter of Chapter 2. It's the 52nd letter in this month and the 104th since my dad deployed to Vietnam. And somehow they were still writing every day. My mom, Captain Sarah Allgood, was 12 weeks pregnant with me, still working long shifts as a nurse at Wilford Hall, and just a few days away from separating from the Air Force. She was exhausted, physically, emotionally, hormonally, but still showing up for my dad, every day, on paper. My dad, Captain Dick Allgood, was on the other side of the world, stationed in Vietnam, on alert as a rescue pilot. He didn't talk much about the missions in these letters, but the threat was always there. The fact that he could be called to launch at any moment was a constant undercurrent, and yet he still found time, every single day, to write to the woman he loved. This letter is filled with weariness, vulnerability, and longing, but also humor, gossip, and hope. She writes about friends who are separating, co-workers who are trying to solo in the OR, and even a surprise run-in with someone from her past. But the moment that lands the hardest is this. We're going to make love, love, love. They were still dreaming of reunion, still imagining closeness, still holding on. This is how Chapter 2 ends, with a promise, a longing, and the unwavering belief that their love would outlast a war. Here's the letter. 30 June. Hi, Whittle Precious. I've never been so happy to see one day about to end. Of course, you're ahead of me. The month of June was the longest, drawn-out month in my life. It seems as though there were 60 days rather than 30. Now I can start marking off July, then August, then, my darling, September. At least we're on the downhill now. Have to think positive, right? I love you. I got 2 sweet letters today. You still use better choice of words than I do. Only 3 more days. I can make it now. I had a bad day. I got too hot when I scrubbed in with Pam this morning. I had to drop out for a while. I almost fainted, then got sick at my stomach. I've been lucky. I've only had about 3 or 4 days like that. The worst should be drawing to an end now. We'll be 12 weeks tomorrow. Better still, we'll be 12 weeks tomorrow. At least I didn't have to scrub by myself. Pam is to solo tomorrow. She's been trying to be really good. Not quite as good as your wife, you understand. After bypass, I coasted the rest of the day, waiting until 2:30 to come home, to sleep, and read my baby's letter. As the case today, 2 letters. Major Mac called to see if I felt better. Connie came over about 6:30 to tell me she had dinner fixed for me. I was hungry. She had fish, French fries, and fresh tomatoes. I enjoyed it. At least it was home-cooked, kinda like Mother's. About Mike and Nancy, I don't know the problems. I haven't talked to Mike alone. He's serving Nancy with the divorce papers sometime this week. He's afraid if he doesn't get it in Texas, and with her 2 brothers lawyers in Alabama, his ass would be in a buttercup. He told Jan all of this. He's depressed, and he really misses Gordon. He's glad it happened now, rather than 10 years from now. Joy is a girlfriend of Nancy's from Birmingham. You probably know her. Short, frosted hair, skinny. She's the president of the Spinsters Club at home. Some social shit. I think she had something to do with Nancy's mood. She misses being Nancy Robinson, social girl. I don't know, just an assumption. He's moving in with Will when Rick leaves until he can find something else. Oh, guess what? As I was walking to Connie's, I ran into Jack Farrell. He's back for 3 months, TDY and possibly permanent. He's lost a lot of weight and was so tickled about our baby. He couldn't get over how thin I was compared to last year, even being 3 months. How about that? He said he'd tell his brother to look you up when he flies into Saigon. I said you'd like that. I got my ID jobby today. I'm sure it will be all I need. I'm looking forward to celebrating our 1-year anniversary. We are going to make love, love, love. Yes, I like you, baby. I like you very much. I surround that like with a great abundance of love. We are so lucky. Most folks would like to have just half the love we share. I don't ever like for you to jest about me leaving or you leaving. If anything ever happens to us, I will die. I mean that. I wouldn't want to live without my love. Remember that. I'm yours, for better, for worse, till death do us part. Forever and always, Sarah. Wow. And that's the final letter of June 1971, the end of chapter 2. Boy. My mom was holding it all together. The pregnancy, the work, the silence. My dad was 8,000 miles away in a war zone, but still trying to be present through words. Somehow, they managed to keep loving each other from opposite ends of the world, and writing every day like it was their lifeline, because it was. We've now read 104 letters together, and this is only month 2. I can feel the weight of what's still ahead. The days they couldn't write, the days they got bad news, the moments I know they'll start to lose hope. But I also know that they didn't give up. They got through it, and eventually my dad came home. Before we move on to July, I'll be recording a special Chapter 2 recap, a reflection on what these letters have revealed about their relationship, their resilience, and what it meant to be separated by war, while trying to build a family. Thank you for listening, for witnessing, for walking with me through their story. If you'd like to support the podcast, you can do that at patreon.com/the Allgoods Love. And to see photos, hear updates, or reach out, visit theallgoodslove.com. I'm Elisa Cecilia, and I'll see you soon for the Chapter 2 recap.